Hey guys, this is Madison. This is my first pick a card reading that I'm doing for YouTube. Basically, what I want you to do is pick one of the 5 stacks, and then I'm going to lay them out and explain to you what's going to be happening month by month and seasonally, and just things to like kind of keep in mind throughout the year that should be helpful. This is my first time doing a video like this, and I'll probably continue to try to do more videos as I continue to learn and improve whenever it comes to tarot. So go ahead and pick. This is group 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll go ahead and put the timestamps down below later. Okay, for group 1, for your 2020 prediction, what I have so far for the first 3 months, the first quarter basically of 2020, we have a card here, the 5 of Wands, which has to do with being competitive with others. This could be in a work situation. You're passionate about what you're engaging in, and just something to keep in mind that you will be feeling competitive the first 3 months of 2020. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with being competitive. For January, we have the Sun card, and we have the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands is like you've done what you can to get to where you are at this point, and you don't want anybody to take it away from you. You've put in all the time and effort into this passion, and you don't want anyone to get in the way of that. The Sun going along with this card, I feel like is awesome, because I feel like it's like you're on a new step and a new journey, and you're really embracing 2020. Like you're ready for things to happen. For February, we have the Healer card. So, and we have it paired with the 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands is being victorious. So that's pretty awesome that you have the 9 of Wands and then the next month the 6 of Wands. It means that you've been grinding really hard and you've been doing what you need to do. And now that you're feeling victorious, maybe you are able to kind of be the healer for others. So you can take the victories that you've made so far and celebrate what you've done so far by being able to help and heal others during this month. For March, we have the World, and we have the 2 of Cups reversed. This is making me think that after having 2 really good months in February and January, that you're kind of feeling like you have the World right now. And I feel like this might be pushing you to kind of pursue a relationship that isn't necessarily the best thing for you. So that's kind of what I'm getting with this. So I'm thinking like maybe look out during this time and just be careful, you know? So during this competitive time, it looks like, you know, you have 3 wands in this spread. So I'm thinking at the beginning of the year, you're really going to be kind of like, what's it called? Pursuing your passions, being competitive with others. You've had victories so far. You've come so far and you don't want anybody to take it away from you. And, that's what I'm getting for the first 3 months of 2020. Okay, so that's kind of like the first season here. For the next portion of the year, we have the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles is like, this is somebody who's kind of excited to go on like a new journey. Like look at her, she's looking at the pentacle, like being all excited, you know, and looking forward to what's going to happen. And I feel like that's kind of you. Like you've, so far this year, you've made so much progress whenever it comes to your passions and, you know, being competitive and all that, that now is the time to actually become a student again. Like maybe you are going to be trying to save up money a little bit better, be more stable, things like that. Like there's something about that that's going to interest you right now. For April, we have the Void, and we have the Ace of Cups. So last month, we had the 2 of Cups reversed, symbolizing that maybe there's a relationship that you're involved in that's not the best. So I'm assuming that possibly you might have realized this, and now you're on a new emotional journey. This could be a new relationship, but it could also just be like maybe you're like feeling yourself now. And I think it pairing with the void does kind of symbolize being kind of like single right now. And maybe looking for things to fill the void that aren't just going to satisfy you emotionally. Like maybe something that will give you, what's it called? Maybe something that can like kind of help you move forward. So maybe it will be okay to kind of like give in to your emotions. For May, we have release. So letting go. It looks like you've had a complicated a few months whenever it comes to relationships. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, which paired with the Page of Pentacles is awesome. This means that like what you've decided you're going to start like pursuing is actually going to be a good time to start. So in May would be a good time to start this like financial journey and letting go of like probably like what your expectations before were, like kind of like letting that go and moving forward. For June, we have unfamiliar territory. So I'm feeling like because you had the Ace of Pentacles the month before, this means that you're starting something new. So I'm getting this feeling that it's a new job, possibly. Maybe you're getting transferred, or maybe you're like completely starting a new position. And this is going to be something that you aren't familiar with. So you're going to be in unfamiliar territory. I would say watch out for using others to kind of like fill this void you've been having over these last few months. Like maybe you're feeling a little bit lonely, maybe you're feeling a little bit lost because you're starting something completely new and you're in unfamiliar territory. So I would say watch out for kind of like using others to satisfy yourself. Like the Knight of Cups, as you can see when it's right side up, she's kind of like looking for people to fill her cup for her. Like she's like not happy and she's just kind of looking around waiting for somebody to do it. And I feel like it being reversed is kind of like a warning for us to not do that ourselves. So this month, try hard not to kind of like use others to make yourself feel more comfortable. Like you might need to attempt to be more self-sufficient during this time. Okay, moving on to the next sort of season here. So let's see what's coming in July, August, and September of 2020. For the theme card here, we have Two of Pentacles, which is like you have two choices you can make, and they're honestly both pretty good ones. And I feel like that's a good thing coming after, like you just had the Ace of Pentacles like 2 months before. So I feel like this means that you're finally making some progress and you're able to make decisions here. I feel like it being reversed, though, might mean that, like, maybe you're not getting exactly what you want to get at this point, and maybe you're feeling like you deserve more or something, but just kind of remember that you are in unfamiliar territory, and you are a novice at whatever it is that's going on right now, and it's okay to kind of, like, accept that. So for July, we have the Inspiration card, so new inspiration spark. We have the Sun, which is so cool. You've gotten it twice this year. You had it in January and now you're getting it again in July, so 6 months later. So I'm feeling like this means that whatever you've been attempting to make happen is really starting to happen, and you're feeling inspired, like you're feeling ready to, and you're feeling positive, you're feeling positive about the future and for it to come forward. In August, we have the Intuition card, which of course just means follow your intuition. But it's also paired with the Three of Swords, which is like betrayal and heartbreak. So I feel like this month is going to have a lot to do with following your instincts whenever it comes to possibly feeling betrayed by somebody. So, at this point, let yourself feel what you're going to feel and follow your instincts. If you're getting this feeling like, this person isn't like satisfying me emotionally or in any sort of way, I feel like I'm showing up more than they're showing up. Maybe they've left me, maybe something like that. I feel like it would be good to follow your intuition and kind of let this thing go. This could also be from the previous Two of Cups reversed. This could be a person that you were already having issues with. This was like not a very good relationship. And maybe this is finally the falling out of that. In September, we have Held card, which is just kind of like wanting to feel safe and be held by somebody, like wanting to feel like you have a purpose in this world. And it's paired with Justice reversed. And Justice reversed is kind of like deciding what is right from wrong and making decisions based on that. I'm feeling like because it's reversed though, that you might be feeling like you deserve justice. I could see this after coming, right after the betrayal, that you feel like you deserve like your retribution or something like that. And that's the only thing that's going to satisfy you and make you feel held. But I feel like it's a good time to concentrate on kind of like letting that stuff go, because like getting retribution and all of those things isn't really in the long run going to make you feel better. Being a more sufficient, self-caring person, all of those things are going to be more likely to make you feel better. So just kind of like keep that in mind. Okay, let's move on to the end of the year. For the end of the year, we have the Emperor card. He is all about control and he's right side up, which is making me think that you are in control of what's going on right now, which is awesome. It's like going to be the end of the year and it's time to start embracing these things, and start feeling more satisfied. Or we hope at least, right? In October, we have Perseverance and we have the Queen of Cups. And I feel like this is like, this could be a person, maybe, this is like double water, so like a water sign possibly, but this is somebody, it could be you as well. This could be someone who's like really mastering their emotions, and with the Perseverance card, it's like you are, kind of like going forward, like you just suffered the betrayal, you know what I mean? And you want to like finish the year off strong. So I feel like it's important to like embrace this. If it's a person in your life, maybe it's a good time to like get advice from this person or feel like you're close to this person. This could be like a mom, like a friend, like whoever. And or it could be you embracing yourself and having self-care and being like in control of your emotions and things like that. So for October, I feel like it's a really good time to be in tune to your emotions and to continue to persevere. In November, I see Joy and the Chariot. The Chariot is like you have a mission and you're going after it and you're happy about it. So I feel like you're letting a lot of things go at this point in the year and you're feeling like it's time for yourself to like kind of like have this new revolution. I know if you follow other like spiritual stuff, they're talking about how 2020 is like new decade, like start of stuff. So it's a really good time to kind of like manifest something new. And so I feel like by the end, like in November, you're going to feel way more driven. Like you've kind of like played around and you've gotten to test out different things throughout the year and see what fits and what doesn't, what's too hard, what's needs more of your time. And you're really starting to feel like that vision is clear and you want to go for it and you're happy about it, which is awesome. It's good news. In December, we have the Wisdom card and we have the Eight of Cups. Okay, so you can see here she's filled up a lot of these cups, but she's deciding it's time to just walk away. And I'm thinking this means that you're going to be more wise from doing this. I feel like all of this is intertwined. I really hope that this sort of like relationship or emotional journey you're going to be going throughout the year doesn't take too much of a toll, but I'm really seeing that you're going to have to let go of somebody who has been making your year really rough. Which, nobody likes to hear that. We want our relationships to be strong and last forever, right? But it's wise at this point to completely walk away. And I feel like you have gained the wisdom to finally decide to let go. Sorry it's taking a whole year for this to happen, but, sometimes that happens. We don't always know what's best for us. We have to experience it first, So that's what I have for group 1. Okay, this is group 2's pick a card reading for 2020, and I'll kind of have a theme card for each season, and then I'll go through month by month kind of what's going to happen, and we'll slowly like tie it together based on the themes that come throughout the months. So for the beginning of the year, we have the Ace of Swords, which is super cool because that means that it's time to take action and start on whatever that thing is that you've been thinking about. It's time to go ahead and get started. For January, we have the Potential card. So that means that there is like potential to start something. We also have the Two of Wands, which is like, the second step on like beginning your journey. Like she's looking out on the horizon and she's ready to continue to contemplate and move forward and collect more of these wands. And I feel like that goes well with the Ace of Swords. So January is really going to be a good month to lay down the tracks for like what you're going to be doing. Like lay down, you know, like come up with that plot, you know, of like what it is that you want to be doing. For February, I have the Transformation card. Sorry if you hear my dog. I have the Transformation card and I have the Star reversed. So in in January, you're kind of like having the beginning of these things happen, and then in September, in February, you're going to start going through a transformation. And I feel like at this point, you're not going to be feeling very giving. You're going to feel kind of like closed off and maybe feel like other people are using you or that things aren't okay, you know? And I feel like it's important to keep in mind with the Star card that whenever the Star shows up, it's kind of like it's kind of like being hopeful, you know? But you're not feeling hopeful at this point. You're transforming, but it doesn't really feel good. So I feel like February is going to be a tough month for you. But don't get too sad about it because in March we have good fortune. So good fortune will be coming, as will the Queen of Wands. So I'm thinking that maybe you're having to go through this hardship to get to this Queen of Wands energy. The Queen of Wands is kind of like, she's the expert on whatever it is that your passion is, you know? So and this person could be you. It could also be your connection to advancing in your career. Whatever it is that is coming that's bringing you good fortune has to do with the mastery internally of whatever your passion is. So this is like literally having the knowledge and not feeling like you need to flaunt it or not feeling like you need to be in control of others. Like you're in control of yourself and you can see your path and what you need to move forward to. So that's what we have for the first 3 months and kind of like the first season here. For like summertime, we have the High Priestess reversed. This is kind of like, she's an expert, she's very wise, she knows all things, but sometimes she keeps things hidden, you know? That's what this moon here symbolizes. And so you might be feeling a little frustrated, like you want to know more answers to something that you're just not getting. So just kind of keep that in mind during the time that like you're not going to understand everything that's going on, and that's okay. So we have the Void. No, I'm sorry, the Voice. This is for April. The Voice and Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands reversed is like you're so busy and you're not even happy about it. Like you're just like, I have so much stuff I need to do and I don't have enough hours in the day. And I feel like it's going to be important during this time to use your voice to express what it is that you need and have your needs be met during this time. So don't forget to tell people like, hey, things are kind of hard for me right now. I'm feeling really busy. I need some help. Whatever it is, don't be afraid to do that during this time. This is in April. In May, we have abundance. So what you've been working forward to is finally happening. Like you're finally having maybe like more money, more success, like whatever it is that's abundance to you, and this thing you've been working towards, what's been keeping you so busy the month before, is finally starting to happen. But it's paired with the Ten of Swords reversed. Honestly, I actually feel like that is a good thing because the Ten of Swords, like right side up, is like you are so overwhelmed that you can't even get out of bed anymore. Like you just like come home and you immediately just like slouch on the couch and just like spend time on social media and you can't handle anything else. Like everything's just too much. But I'm thinking since it's reversed, you can see the swords are kind of coming out. So maybe you were feeling this way, especially last month with the Eight of Wands. Like you were feeling like you were just like working and just grinding and not really taking any time to yourself. And maybe in May, while you're feeling your abundance, you're going to have more time to kind of cater to yourself and take care of yourself. And this like weighed down feeling you're having will slowly start to go away. This is like great too. So in June, we have the Moon card. The Moon is kind of like illusions and following your intuition, you know, like following it in the dark. And you have the Eight of Swords reversed. I know this card looks scary, just like the last one, but this one is also reversed. So whenever it's right side up, she's like trapped, you know? She's got all these swords around her. She's tied up. She's blindfolded. She's not sure what to do. But the point of this card is that those ropes aren't as strong as you think, you know? Like, you can just like pull them off and get your life, get everything together. But that doesn't change that you feel trapped, but it means that like you can escape if you want to. And it being reversed means that you are escaping. So whatever was keeping you, like making you feel tied down, is gone now. I'm getting the feeling with all of these cards being together that maybe you're going to finally say no to something. You were so busy. You felt so overwhelmed. You were getting abundance. And then now you're going to be following your intuition, and you're going to be feeling like you're free. You're free from whatever was keeping you from like chilling, you know? So I feel like it's going to be a rough few months, but I feel like it's really going to make a difference, and that'll be awesome. For fall, we have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is like being interested in a new relationship, you know? Like she's looking at the little fish in the cup, and she's just being all like, what are you about? You know, like, what's up with you? So this is like kind of like exploring something new that has to do with relationships. So in July, we have Journey, which makes me think you're going to go on a trip of some sort. And then Three of Wands reversed. We have a few reversed cards here, so I'm kind of getting the feeling that, I mean, the other ones were saying like something good, but I'm getting the feeling that like you might have some blocked energy this year that's making you not feel very like positive in a lot of ways, but you know, just continue to keep doing what you need to do. But yeah, we have the Journey card, so you're going to go on some type of journey in July. And then the Three of Wands reversed is like instability. So maybe you have decided to say no to this thing, and at first you were having abundance, but now you're kind of like not sure exactly what you want. Maybe you're kind of lost and you feel like you need like more direction. And I feel like going on some type of journey will really help you like figure out what that could be. So kind of just like take a break and maybe go do something that's for yourself, like get more grounded, you know? In August, we have the Goodness card. So good things, either you being good or good things coming to you. You also have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Wheel of Fortune is like you can't control it. Life just keeps on going. It's all about, you know, life cycles. I feel like it being reversed though means that you're not happy about what's happening. And I feel like it might be a challenge for you. I'm really getting this feeling that it might be a challenge for you this month to stay good. But I feel like if you do not give in to the temptation to be frustrated or angry or any of those things, like you just try to be like a good person at your core, it'll really help you get through this time of kind of feeling out of control of your life. Sometimes when the Wheel of Fortune pops up, it's kind of like saying like relax, like things are just going to happen the way they happen and you can't really control them. For a lot of people that doesn't really sound like something you want to hear, but sometimes that's just how life is, you know? Okay. For September, we have Humility. So I feel like you've been humbled by the things that have happened, and you're seeing the world from a new perspective. The Hanged One. She hangs up in the tree upside down to see the world from a new perspective. This card is reversed though, so I'm getting the feeling that like these two cards together, because I'm really getting the feeling that like you don't like this position of seeing things from a new point of view, but at the same time you're being humbled. Maybe this is a reminder to stay humbled. You are seeing things from a new point of view, and maybe embrace it. Like change this to like being right side up so that it can help you, you know? Seeing things from a new point of view can oftentimes like repair a relationship, help you in like your journey, you know? So I feel like it's really important to keep these two things in mind in September and let yourself be humble, feel simple, feel grateful for the things that have happened, you know? Okay, now we're going to be going into winter. For this one, we don't have a tarot theme card, but we have an oracle theme card, which I feel like is, oracle cards are usually more, not usually more positive, but they're going to mostly be positive whenever tarot can sometimes kind of tell you how it is, you know? So we have the Passage card for winter. So that means that you're going to be going through a new passage right now. And I feel like that makes sense with all the other cards we've been seeing. So for October, we have rise. So in the last month, you were seeing things from a new perspective, and now you are rising to the next level. Six of Pentacles is kind of like you're in a position where it's okay to accept help from other people. You've maybe been being the one like helping others for the most part. And maybe that was part of what humbled you last month, is maybe like putting too much of yourself out there, and maybe kind of like trying to fix everybody's problems with like your abundance. You're like, I have all these things, I'm just going to share it with everybody, and it puts you in a bad position. So now is an okay time to accept help from others. There's somebody out there who wants to help you, and you will kind of, rise up to the next level during this time. And maybe that relationship with that person will become stronger because they've repaid what you have helped from them. Even if you didn't expect it from them, it might just be helpful. In November, we have the Divine, and we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is kind of like, he has external knowledge. He's good with his words. This is somebody who's a great communicator. They're very intellectual. This person could be you, or it could be somebody else. It's paired with the Divine Feminine, which is making me feel like maybe this is somebody who is very passionate about social issues, like feminist issues, and they're not afraid to speak their mind and have their opinion. And I feel like these two things paired together is kind of like a new heightened acceptance, of your inner, like you being divine. Does that make sense? Like you seeing yourself in a new light that makes you feel positive. And maybe developing like better communication during this time will help you feel like you are very important and like you are a divine creature. For December, we have Storm. And we have the Page of Wands. Storm just means that things have been rough. It really seems like in this spread that like things have been kind of like up and down, but you've been changing a lot and seeing different things and from a new perspective and stuff like that. The Page of Wands is like she's ready to take the knowledge she has and go forward, especially whenever it comes to her passions. So she is kind of like looking, to the future and being ready to embrace everything that she needs to learn. So right now, embrace being a student and learning what you need to learn to get through this rough time. That's been my reading for Group 2 for the 2020 predictions. Okay, so this is Group 3 for 2020 predictions. This is the only group that got an extra card. So I'm taking this to mean that you guys have a special, kind of like theme throughout the year, and it has to do with direction. So this year, you're going to feel directed, and this is basically like the okay to continue to follow this new direction you have in 2020. In January, we have grounded. So you're going to be feeling grounded right now. It's also like maybe you've had a good holiday, and you're just kind of feeling ready for the new year, like you already have all your stuff in line. But it's paired with the King of Wands reversed. And what I'm thinking this means is that you're feeling more grounded, more spiritual, more like accepting of yourself, all of these things, and maybe you're a little arrogant about it. So I would say for this month, kind of watch the way you're talking to other people and kind of consider like if you're being a little bit of like a know-it-all whenever it comes to these things. So keep that in mind in January. We also have a seasonal card. So for the beginning of the year, we have the Nine of Pentacles. She's kind of like been watering her garden all year and it's finally sprouting. So this is like saying abundance and accomplishments and all of these things. But I'm thinking because it's reversed, that this is saying that you might not see these things for yourself right now. And maybe it's time to like really look around and see what you have accomplished, For February, we have, I'll keep this here, Spiritual guidance. So last month you were feeling grounded and now you're having spiritual guidance. I feel like this is cool. Like I feel like you were on a spiritual journey so far at the beginning of the year, and maybe that was your anticipation for 2020. Like maybe you're interested in these types of things and you not really feeling accomplished. Might have to do with you kind of like searching for this. So you will have spiritual guidance in February, and we have the Five of Pentacles reversed. And I feel like this is like somebody close to you who like is willing to go through the rough stuff with you, you know, like this person is like has your back. So during this time, I'm getting this feeling that like maybe you don't feel like you have that person right now, and maybe spirit is the one guiding you while you kind of like feel a little bit alone during like a tough time right now, if that makes sense. In March, we have the Mother card. So being giving, nurturing, all those things. It's also paired with the Seven of Swords reversed. So I'm feeling like there's like maybe some gossip going on right now, and maybe feeling a bit like defensive whenever it comes to those things. And I feel like it being paired with the Mother card is like maybe you have been giving so much to other people. You're on this new spiritual journey. So maybe you've been like giving up a little bit too much of yourself, and you're feeling like people are kind of taking advantage of that and are like kind of like talking trash and not like being appreciative of what you've been doing. So I'm thinking for this beginning of the year section to kind of continue to follow your direction and to sort of like embrace how far you've come so far, you know, and not concentrate so much on like what other people owe you. You're on your own spiritual journey right now, and you will be making progress. So the beginning of the year might kind of like not feel that great, but let's see what the rest of 2020 has for you. For the next season, we have the King of Pentacles. This is somebody who knows a lot about finances, health, and home. They have external knowledge. This is somebody you call whenever something in your home breaks. This is somebody who's willing to help you whenever you need the help. And that is the card we're going to have for the second like quarter of 2020. This person could be you. It could be somebody close to you. You could be striving to be this person. We did have Mother card in the last portion, so it could have to do with that as well. In April, we have the Lovers, and we also have the Empress reversed. This is making me feel like you might be investing a little bit too much of your time in somebody else that you love. So I'm getting this feeling in April that you are neglecting embracing your Empress. Sorry if you guys hear my dog. He's being so upset right now that I'm not paying more attention to him. But anyways, so not being more self-nurturing as you should be. So in April, I feel like it's a good time to kind of like concentrate on yourself and not so much on meeting other people's expectations. In May, oh my gosh, we have the Lovers card again, paired with gratitude. So I'm thinking that this means that this relationship is kind of going forward and that you're feeling grateful for this person. Maybe in the past, you've put so much into other people, you know, with the Mother card and the Empress card reverse. I'm getting the feeling you've put so much into other people that you don't put in on yourself, and maybe a lot of people take from you. But I'm getting this feeling in May that you're going to be feeling grateful for the relationship you have with somebody. That doesn't mean in April to not take care of yourself. Keep that in mind, to take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself can improve your other relationships. In June, we have seasons. So this just kind of means that things come and go and things change. We also have the Nine of Swords. So this is kind of like you're fed up with something. Something is going on in your life and you're finding it hard to sleep at night. You're just feeling so overwhelmed, and I feel like Spirit is saying to keep in mind that these things pass. I feel... I'm not exactly sure. I'm not getting any type of feeling if it's specifically a work thing. I'm almost feeling like it might be a family thing. Like there's something, or like someone close to you that you love. Like something is going on that's making you feel overwhelmed. But try to keep in mind that life keeps going and the seasons will continue to change, you know? And I feel like that's kind of good with the end of this like 3-month portion here. You know, things are beginning to change. You might be feeling overwhelmed, but let's see what else Spirit has for you going forward. For fall, the theme card here is the Knight of Pentacles reversed. The Knight of Pentacles is kind of like they're embracing like earthly possessions, or like kind of like going forward on some type of journey. You know what I mean? So they're like, look, the Knight looks hopeful. The Knight is kind of like chilling. Like in most of the Knight cards, they're racing towards something, but this one isn't. You know, he's just like chilling. And I feel like it being reversed might mean that you're struggling to kind of like slow down and look at things from a different perspective and maybe like learn from what's going on, you know? So maybe keep that in mind during this time. In July, we have the Worker. So I'm thinking you're going to be working a lot. There's also the Seven of Wands, which makes me think that you're going to be feeling a bit defensive. You're just going to be working, not wanting anybody to take from you what you've gained so far. In September, we have the Wish card. So you have a wish and the Fool card. So this is an awesome combination because this is the first step. You're starting on a new journey, you're excited about it, and your wishes are starting to come true. Or at least this is the path you want to be on to have your wishes come true. You're finally manifesting these two things to make something happen for you in September. I'm getting kind of the feeling, like this is just a thought that popped up in my head. So I'm getting this feeling that Spirit is talking about like some type of new job that might be working out at this time. I'm thinking September because it's the beginning of the fiscal year. A lot of places are hiring at this time, things like that. So I'm kind of getting that feeling, especially paired with the Worker bee, like maybe you're looking for something new and you've gained the experience and now you're getting that opportunity to actually go forward and do it. In July, that was August. I'm still going to stick with what I said though, because I'm getting this feeling that like around this time you're going to be getting some type of new work experience. I feel like Spirit is really like telling me that. In September, we have Earth Mother. This is another mother card in here. So I feel like you are such a giving person and you love to give to the earth. You're very empathetic. You love to give to others, make sure everybody's taken care of. And then also the Ace of Wands, so the new start. So I do feel like these things go together. I feel like you're going to be starting some type of new job that really embraces what you are interested in, you know, like what your passion is. And Earth Mother, maybe these two are combined. Like maybe you're going to get some type of job that like helps others or like helps the world in some way, which is awesome because I feel like I'm getting a feeling through all of this like spread that you are a very empathetic person. You're very caring and giving. And so yeah, it looks like that next portion, the third quarter of the year, I feel like is really looking good for you. Like things are starting to happen, relationships are growing, all of those things. I really feel like that for this part of the year. Let's see what we have for winter. For the theme card, we have Temperance reversed. And this is kind of like keeping the balance of things. And sometimes this can be hard whenever it's like the time around the holidays, you know? So it's not that crazy that it would pop up in wintertime. I feel like that's very likely to happen. So for October, since this is the actual October, we have Duality. So this is like working together with somebody. And then we have the Queen of Swords reversed. The Queen of Swords reversed is kind of like, this is a person who just tells it like it is. They're very blunt. They're very straightforward. Normally, whenever it's right side up, this means that this is a good person to kind of get advice from because they're going to tell you the truth. I feel like it being reversed, though, means that this person is very icy. They're going to say the things that they know get to you. And I feel like Duality might be telling me that you're going to have to be working with this person. I don't know. I'm getting the feeling it's a coworker, but it might not have to be a coworker. It could be like a partner. It could be just somebody you have to interact with often. and you are going to have to work together with this person. My advice would be to, kill him with kindness. That's usually my advice in work situations. But you just do whatever you need to do to kind of like fight off the coldness from this person and work together for like your common goals. In November, we have home. And we also have the Knight of Swords reversed. The Knight of Swords is like rushing forward to like do what they need to do. And I feel like home card is like, I'm getting this feeling that it actually means that you will actually like be going home, but I feel like you're not very excited to be going home wherever that home is for you. I get this feeling that like you're not going to be in a hurry. I don't know if you're the type of person who goes to like visit your family or anything like that, but yeah, I'm getting the feeling in November, that you're not really going to be that excited about it and that excited about like going home. In December, we have hope. I feel like that's a great way to end the year. But we also have Two of Swords. So I feel like at this point you have a tough decision you need to make. The outcome isn't going to be as bad as you think, but you really don't like either of these, like, you don't like either option of the decision. It could be something like, or if you get what you want, somebody else suffers, or like you don't get what you want and that's not good. Like it could be something like that. But I feel like you still have hope for the future and you're not letting it bother you. So that is my 2020 prediction for group 3. Okay, this is group 4's 2020 prediction. What I'll be doing is I'll have kind of like a theme card for each quarter of the year, and then we'll kind of go through each month and see what it kind of has in store for you, and then we'll kind of connect the dots as we go through the year. So for the beginning of the year, the theme here is the Hierophant. She is basically law. She knows what the cultures are, what the customs are, and what's expected of everyone. This is kind of telling me that at the beginning of the year, there are going to be expectations for you and you are going to have to meet them. And you kind of have to do what you're supposed to do, if that makes sense. What the people who are around you are expecting you to do. And sometimes that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Like it could be like if you're a parent and you need to be there for your children, then that's just what you need to do. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a control thing or anything negative like that. So for January, we have time, and we also have the Six of Swords reversed. So I'm getting this feeling that you've been waiting for something, or you're going to have to wait for something, and you're kind of tired of doing it. You're tired of like continuing to go forward, but Spirit is telling you that it's good to continue to keep going, and just like let things happen in their own time. Don't try to rush them, In February, we have breath. So take a breath and kind of like relax. Like you're pushing so hard and wanting these things to happen. You're having to wait. You're having to do these things you're supposed to do. It's time to take a breath and stop judging yourself. We have judgment here. Judgment is the second to last step in the Fool's journey. So whenever you get to judgment and you let go of judgment, you have the world. So I feel like that's very important to like take a breath and stop judging yourself whenever it comes to February. Not everyone is a perfect person and we all make mistakes, and that's okay. Just continue to think about like what it is that you should be doing and strive to do it. In March, we have the Knight. I feel like the Knight is saying to kind of like follow your intuition. And we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Seven of Pentacles is like, there's a transformation here. Like she's been putting in all this time and effort into these plans and she's just not really feeling satisfied. Like maybe this isn't the right thing for her. And I feel like it being reversed and being paired with Knight kind of means like that you're feeling very unfulfilled right now. Like you're not feeling like you're where you're supposed to be. And maybe you're feeling like you could have abundance if you change what you're doing. So I think listen to your intuition during this time, and if you feel like change is what you need to have some type of fulfillment, then maybe that's what you need to do, So that's for the first portion of the year. Next, we have the Devil. The Devil is kind of telling us like to not give in to our indulgences, So this is kind of cool. You actually have like a few of the Fool's journey in your pick, you know? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I mean, it can be annoying because it's kind of like things are happening that aren't really in your control, but that also means that you're not purposely doing anything that's hurting you, you know? And the devil is kind of like a reminder to not give in to his promises, you know? Like, he might be like, oh, it's totally okay to overindulge in this way. It's totally okay to like drink more often, or whatever it is that you are, is like your vice, you know? And it might be a good like time to like be considerate of that and not give into it. You know, you did have a rough few months. In April, we have kindred spirits. So that means that you're going to be getting along with somebody close to you. These are like your people. We also have the death card. And I feel like this means that you're going to be letting go, especially paired with the kindred spirits. I feel like you're going to be letting go of something toxic that happened before. It being reversed gives me this feeling that you're not happy about it, which, I mean, nobody's really happy about things ending, you know, unless it's something that you wanted to end. But I get a feeling that like you really didn't want this to end. And the kindred spirits is like, these people are going to be there with you. This is like your family, your best friends, like whoever it is that you feel has your back, and they're going to be able to help you through this time. And this is in April. In May, we have the Union card, and we also have the Five of Cups. So there's some mourning going on here, and Union is giving me the feeling, especially with Kindred right before, that you're working together with people to get through whatever is going on. This seems like a really rough beginning of the year. Sorry, group 3. But like, we have death, we have the devil, and we have the Five of Cards, which is all about mourning. So it's kind of like around this time, things are not going to be going the way they should be, you know? And it's kind of okay to let yourself mourn and to let yourself connect with these people around you who are there for you. And don't let yourself give in to those bad impulses, you know? Stay strong during this time. For, this is June. We have the Blind card, and we also have the Ten of Wands. I'm feeling like this is saying that during this time, you're actually going to try to stay really busy and pick up more than you can. And you're going to be kind of blind to it. Like, you're not going to realize that like you're way overloading your plate. You shouldn't be putting on as much as you are, especially with whatever like traumatic stuff is going on right now. You should be letting yourself like feel what you feel and kind of like look at the, not like depend too much on those friends, but it's also okay to lean on someone's shoulder, you know? Like, you can lean on somebody and depend on them and not like be too much, you know? And you kind of like find that balance. And don't like think that you can just do everything by yourself. Like, you're gonna need help sometimes, especially whenever things are tough, and that's okay during this time. Let's have hope for the rest of the year, group 1. Let's see what's happening more in the summertime. We have the Hermit. If you're an extroverted person, this card probably scares you, but it just kind of means like being introspective and spending an appropriate amount of time by yourself. You know, you've kind of like leaned on these people, and that's totally okay, but now it's time to be introspective and kind of like let yourself heal and think about things and think about what you want in the future. We have for July, vulnerability. So you're going to be feeling very vulnerable right now. And Three of Cups. This is like camaraderie, like you're getting along with your friends, you guys are like partying, everything's going good, but you might be feeling kind of vulnerable at this time. So maybe you're going to be a little more sensitive to things and maybe like feel like you're opening up too much, or maybe something like trusting people that maybe you shouldn't, something like that, you know? These could be really good friends, but maybe just like keep in mind that like you are in control of what happens to you. And it's okay to like kind of say no, and it's okay to sometimes spend time at home, especially if you're not feeling up to actually being with people, you know, you don't have to force yourself. In August, we have manifestation and strength. So this is awesome. This is a good sign. You've had such a tough year so far. And the next step is to start manifesting what it is that you want and recognizing what your strengths are, what makes you a strong person. You're using this time to be introspective and figure out like what is something good about you, you know? So now is the time to use those strengths to manifest something new that's for you, you know? So I'm getting this feeling that August is going to be all about you. In September, we have balance, which is great. This is really good to come with the Hermit card, especially after we had the Devil card and all those other scary cards earlier. And we also have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So I'm thinking the Queen of Pentacles reversed is maybe this is somebody who like gives unsolicited advice a lot, because this person's really stable and they know what to do with their money and all of these things. I'm getting the feeling it's like a family member, like an aunt or a mom or grandma. Like I'm getting the feeling it's a female. It doesn't have to be. But you're finally finding balance, and maybe it's okay to like not really listen to this person's advice right now. Like maybe they normally give good advice, but they're being just kind of intrusive at the moment. And right now you're really needing to trust yourself. So maybe it's okay to like find balance in like trusting yourself, knowing, like taking people's advice with a grain of salt. I mean, you don't necessarily have to like shut them down and be like, hey, don't talk to me about stuff. You could kind of be like, oh, okay, maybe I'll like think about that, you know, but really you need to figure out like what is positive for you. Oh, look, we have 2 little rabbits. That's really cool. That probably means something. You figure out what that means to you. Maybe look up what rabbits mean. I would, but it just popped up in the video and I hadn't previously thought about it. Okay, so here we have the last season here. So we have, in winter time, we have the Dreamer card. So you're starting to like kind of be positive again. Like you're having dreams now, like about like what it is you want. You're looking forward to the future. Maybe it's been hard to do that all year. Maybe you've been feeling so restricted by what's going on, what kind of tragedies you've dealt with this year, and now it's time to start investing in those dreams once again. We have the Fire card. This is in October, and the 4 of Wands reversed. Fire card is like, I mean, it is what it is. Like a new fire has sparked within you, and I'm feeling like this is coming from the fact that like you're not having this like, what's it called, harmony, you know, and like balance and like all these things in your life that the 4 of Wands would represent. This is like what you want, and I feel like a fire is sparked inside of you to decide that you're not going to let yourself not have it anymore, and you're going to work towards it. In November, we have the Drifting card. Maybe you went a little too hard the month before. And we have the Knight of Wands, which is making me think that you're going to keep pushing. So maybe you feel like a little lost, like you don't really know where you're going, but you're going to keep on pushing it and going for it whenever it comes to your passions and your dreams. And for my advice, I would say as long as you're not burning yourself out, keep on going for it. You might be feeling a little lost, but if you feel like you have that drive and direction, like just continue to work towards that. At the end of the year, this is so cool. You got strength again. And this isn't December. You also have the 6 of Cups reversed. So I feel like now that you have a little bit, I'm thinking what I'm really getting the sense of is that you're a little stronger now and you have more strengths that you've been working on, and that maybe you are ready to accept emotional help from other people. Like maybe you're ready to accept advice or have people tell you the truth when before you weren't ready to hear it. It wasn't a good time for you to hear it, but now you're ready for it and you're feeling stronger than ever. This was the prediction for 2020, and I really hope that this year goes pretty well. I really hope that you guys are able to get through this on the other side a stronger person. You have strength twice, so keep that in mind during any of the traumas that you're going through during the year. Okay, this is Group 4's 2020 prediction. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a kind of like theme card for each quarter of the year, and then we're going to go through the months and then kind of like see what overall like kind of connecting things are going to happen throughout the year. So for the first quarter, I have 3 of Pentacles. This person is learning something new, learning something in their craft, wanting to improve whenever it comes to this. So you're kind of feeling like a student around this time, and that's cool. Like that's like maybe you're getting to the next level of something you've always been interested in or something like that. For January, we have the Magician. So it's all about manifestation. We also have the World reversed. So I feel like right now you have the ability to manifest what you want and you have the world, but I'm getting this feeling that you don't. Like maybe there's some self-doubt here that you're thinking that like you're not ready. And I'm thinking too, paired with the Three of Pentacles, that maybe you're kind of ready to take that leap, but you don't feel like you are. And I feel like it's maybe time to just like go for it, you know, instead of continuing to wait for the perfect time, because I'm thinking the perfect time isn't really going to come. For February, we have Father. We also have Five of Swords. Five of Swords is kind of like you have a lot of pride, and I feel like being paired with Father, like that kind of comes double, because I mean, this is the divine masculine, but I feel like being prideful is something that we stereotypically pair with men. So I'm getting this feeling that like maybe you're going to have a lot of like pride and maybe a lot of pushback towards other people. And I'm feeling like this is a good time to not be so pushy with those things and not like let what other people say or feel like affect you so much to where you lash out, you know? So in February, keep that in mind. In March, we have the Guarded card. So obviously you're feeling guarded. We have the Seven of Cups, so this means that you have plenty of things that you can choose from. Like you had the world earlier, and now you have so many different options of things that you can do, and it's hard to pick one. You're also feeling, you know, guarded at this time, so I'm thinking maybe that you're feeling like you can't trust that all of these good things are happening, or that you have all these different options. Maybe because of, you know, your pride before and you not feeling like you are ready to move forward. These are things that are stopping you from taking that next step. And I feel like Spirit is really saying to have confidence in yourself and take that step. So that's for the first portion here. For summer, we have Four of Swords reversed. So normally when our Four of Swords is upright, there's like this looming like overwhelming feeling that you want to like get away from. So you take the time to rest, and that's great. But I feel like it being reversed is kind of like you're coming out of this stage. I feel like before you might have been in a bit of a defensive stage. Those last few months look like you're going to be kind of like having a bit of arguments with people, like kind of battling with your own ego, and that might have been making you feel overwhelmed. And maybe now you're kind of starting to feel a little less like on the defense so much. We have Inner Vision, and this is cool. We have the Magician card again. So I'm getting this feeling that maybe you're finally seeing that you are actually ready to take those steps. So you're actually feeling like, oh, I could do this thing I'm super interested in. I've put in all the work, I've taken the time, and it's finally time to start manifesting those things. This is in April. In May, we have the Wilderness card, so kind of like letting your wild side out. And I feel like it going with the moon kind of means that same thing double. Like, look at them. They're out here in the wilderness, like just being naked and freaky and stuff, you know, having a lot of fun. So I feel like in May, it might be the time... Sorry, that's my dog. It might be the time to kind of like embrace your inner wildness, your inner weirdo, and like, you know, you're manifesting stuff right now and you're going forward and you're starting to feel better about things. So I feel like this is a really like progressive part for you to be. In June, we have the Star. Star is like hope, you know, like it's a dark night and you see that North Star. There's also Ten of Pentacles reversed. And I'm getting this feeling that you don't have the Ten of Pentacles life. You don't have the completely stable home, the completely stable income, like all those things that make a fulfilling life, but you're feeling hopeful that you're going to be getting these things. So that's good. I feel like the first like quarter of the year you were like defensive and, you know, scared and all those things, and then now you're kind of moving forward into like feeling like you're going to make whatever you want to happen. So that's great. We have the Four of Cups here. It's reversed. Normally when it's right side up, it's like you're kind of like done with people giving you all of their problems. Like they just keep handing her cups and she doesn't even want them anymore. She's so done with it. She's like, I don't need that baggage anymore. And I feel like it being reversed, I feel like that might mean that you're letting go of this baggage and not really having a bad attitude about it. Like you're like happy that you're able to let stuff go. we have, this is for July, community and the Tower reversed. So I feel like you might have been coming out of a Tower period. And now you're feeling like you're able to embrace a new community. I'm getting this feeling that maybe things had crashed down, and maybe that's why you were feeling so defensive at the beginning of the year. Maybe something went down before and you were not feeling happy about it. And now you're like kind of trying to find your new community and your new like place in the world, you know? For August, we have Bound and we have Ten of Cups. So Bound is like, you know, feeling stuck and like you can't like be your true self, you know? And then Ten of Cups is supposed to be a happy card. So it's supposed to be like you have really healthy relationships, your family relationships are great, like something like that, like something really fulfilling. But I'm wondering if maybe these relationships going well is making you feel tied down in some way. That's kind of what I'm getting the feeling of here with these two paired together, is that you're feeling tied down by relationships that are going well. I'm not sure if that's a good or bad point of view to have at this point, but maybe just consider it, you know? I can't tell you what to think or how to feel. In September, we have the mystery card. There are things that you just won't know. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. So you have a lot of pentacle cards in your spread. So I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of financial work, a lot of like working, you know, to make that stable home, that stable life. And you're going to be working on projects. There's going to be some stuff you might not understand, and that could make you frustrated. But I feel like it's important to like keep on working towards those projects and keep on like doing what you need to do, you know? That's what I'm getting here. That's for the third quarter. Let's see what winter has in store. Already what I have right here is the Nine of Cups, which is cool. So Nine of Cups is like you've already made, like she has all these trophies up on the wall, and it's time to finally like celebrate and finally like have yourself like, you know, a spa day, like self-care, like go do something that's just for you type of thing, you know? And I feel like in wintertime, it's like that's the theme for you, is to do stuff for you. In October, we have Blossom, so good things are happening. We also have the Four of Pentacles, and I feel like these two together means that like you're going to need to be saving your money and like kind of penny pinching or like choosing when to spend your money type of stuff, and that will help you blossom. Like don't just blow your money on things, you know? You've been working so hard to kind of like gain that stability, so to continue to blossom, I feel like you need to continue to be frugal. In November, I'm seeing Death, so it's the end of a cycle. I'm also seeing Page of Swords. So I feel like there's a way, I'm really, like this is really a feeling I'm getting, is that you communicated in ways that weren't correct, you know? They weren't the most healthy ways for you to communicate. And I feel like in November, you're going to finally let that go, and you're going to stop, I'm not going to say treating people poorly, but stop like communicating in a way that isn't healthy, you know? I'm not sure if that means for you or for the other person, but definitely like I see an ending here whenever it comes to like the beginnings of communication, you know? I'm really seeing that here. And then in December, we have Crafty and we have the King of Cups reversed. King of Cups reversed is like this is a manipulative person. This is somebody who only uses emotions as like a gain to have over other people. This card could represent you, or this card could represent someone else. I'm honestly getting the sense of like the kind of like going back and forth we've had, and then the ending of that way of communication is giving me the feeling this could be you, but it could also be somebody in your family that maybe you kind of model yourself after. So maybe whenever you're deciding not to do this anymore, that person's kind of coming back. I'm also seeing Crafty. Honestly, Crafty is kind of giving me double that this is you. I feel like you're going to have these emotional needs you want met, and you're going to come up with whatever way you can to have them be met. And like really just be considerate of the people that you're talking to and the people you're interacting with, because this is really the feeling I'm getting, is there's like some emotional manipulation here, and that I feel like that's not a good way to end, you know, your year. If you have to do things like this whenever you're with your family, I guess that's just how it is, but yeah, this is the sense I'm getting for December. So I feel like that stuff paired with the Nine of Cups is kind of telling me that maybe you think treating yourself means that other people have to sort of like abide by what you want. And yeah, that's kind of the sense I'm getting, is that like that's how you see like embracing yourself, kind of, is to have other people like meet your needs. And maybe just keep that in mind during this time, you know. Like I said, I don't know if I told you or another group, but I'm not going to tell you what to do or think, but yeah, just keep that in mind during December.